First question, what qualifies you as president?
Qualities that qualify me as president is my leadership ability, my proposals to the American people. I have all these proposals, including cutting taxes as well as improving the crime system as well as gun control that will help the people of America have a better future and a better nation.
Thank you. Question 2, who is your biggest role model?
My biggest role model, as mentioned in my previous interview, is Malala. I don't know if you've heard of her, but she's a Nobel Prize winner, and she's only, I believe, 18 or 19, so she's the youngest Nobel Prize winner, Peace Prize, and she has organized thousands of dollars and has raised money and has tried to put an end to Syrian refugee crises as well as other sort of humanitarian crises in the nation of where she was born, which I'm not exactly sure where.
What is your most influential life experience that has made you the person you are today?
My most influential life experience would probably be about, well, more generally, my childhood. I was raised by working parents, so I've always known hard work, and I've always known that I need to pursue a higher education, work hard in school, and because of all the hardships I had to face in my childhood, I was able to completely develop myself as a person who wants to make sure most people don't have to face such hardships.
What do you see in the country that is wrong with it today?
I see a lot of, I would say, issues in terms of imbalance with the classes. There's a lot of upper class people that aren't paying as high taxes, lower class people that are struggling a lot to pay their taxes. So I think a really big issue that we see nowadays is a very weak middle class, I would say. I wouldn't say it's extremely weak, but definitely could be stronger. And I think with my help and my new tax reform plan, that the middle class will indeed get stronger and the nation in general will become a lot stronger and happier.
What do you mean by weak? Can you elaborate on that?
By weak I mean sort of, it's kind of smaller than it should be, as well as the fact that it's not as widespread as it could be.
Thank you.
Thank you.
So, what qualifies you as president?
Well, let me tell you, as a former governor of Pennsylvania, I'm a superb leader. Not only that, I have enough experience with working with the people and with organizations that I'll be able to take that executive role as president.
Next question. Who is your role model?
My role model, I have to say my dad. Especially my dad, because no matter what obstacle he faces, he just keeps going at it, trying different angles. He doesn't give up. And he's a pretty short man, and even with physical obstacles, he's not very strong or big. He'll find a way to do it. So for me, obviously, I'm not the biggest guy, but I'm still going to find a way. Just like if I'm president, once I'm president, no matter what obstacle the United States may face, you can count on me.
What is your most influential life experience that made you to the person you are today?
My most influential life experience. Well, I have to say is one time I was playing badminton. My dad passed out, and I saw his eyes go blank, and it just made me realize that like even someone as influential as my dad, who I look up to, is human, vulnerable, and that just reminded me that even though I'm young now, I'm still vulnerable. So I still need to be as strong as I can when I can. Yeah.
Next question, and last one. What do you see that is wrong with the country today?
Well, today I see so much corruption in the government. There's just the spending and also the lack of care for the people who we're actually affecting. The United States government was created to serve the people. I mean, the preamble to the Constitution says, "We the people." Who else is it for but for those who aren't in office? So I think that what a lot of politicians today have forgotten is who they're serving. It's not for themselves, it's not for that small constituent they have, but rather the whole country, for the good of the country.
All right, thank you.
Thank you. Have a good night.
You too.
First question, what qualifies you as president?
So I think the most important thing that qualifies me as president is my leadership ability. As you can tell from my previous position as governor of New York, I think it's very easy to see that I have the kind of leadership qualities that you want in your next president of America. I also started the Jumpstart Foundation in New York to help impoverished kids in the city, and I believe my ability to lead that organization also gives me the ability to become the next successful president of the United States.
Who would you consider your role model?
I consider my role model to be my mom. We didn't have very much growing up. My dad left when I was very little, and my mom had to take care of me and all of my siblings, and it's very difficult for her to be able to provide for us, but she made sure that no matter what, we were the ones who got everything that we needed. So she might have to go sometimes without eating, but she would make sure that we were cared for as best as she could, and she stressed on me the value of education to make sure that if I wanted to get out of this kind of life, I had to educate myself in order to create a better life for me and my posterity.
What would you consider the most influential life experience that made you the person you are today?
It's a tough question. I would say my most valuable life experience would be growing up in Brooklyn, not in an impoverished environment.
What was your most influential experience that made you the person you are today?
It's a tough question, but I think that the most valuable experience I've had is growing up in Brooklyn, impoverished, and in a not as healthy environment as it could have been. I think that that kind of lifestyle gives you a different perspective on how to cherish what you have and not wish or be unhappy for the things you don't have. And it shaped me because now that I'm well off, it gives me a better perspective on knowing that I made it this far through my own hard work, my own success, and I value all of those things and all the effort I've put in and all the struggle that I've endured.
And lastly, what do you see what's wrong with America today?
So I think there's several things with America that could be changed. I don't necessarily think there's something per se wrong with America. It's just that it might need to be modified or reformed. I think one of the biggest issues is childhood obesity, as First Lady Michelle Obama's international is trying to make kids eat healthier and get exercise. I think that's a very important issue because we are currently one of the fattest countries in the world, and that's not good. It's not good for someone to be that overweight. It's not healthy for them, and it decreases their longevity and takes away from their happiness.
All right, thank you, Keith.
You're welcome.